Hello, everyone. Welcome to today's seminar on mindfulness. So, this is a mindfulness seminar for cancer survivors. My name is Hang Ruan. I am a senior social worker at the VA. I've been practicing mindfulness meditation for 20 years, and I've been teaching mindfulness um, in various contexts. And at the VA, I've been doing that, teaching mindfulness here for 12 years. I teach mindfulness currently to veterans across Vision 20, which includes the states of Washington, Oregon, Idaho, and Alaska. I also teach mindfulness to VA staff as part of employee wellness. We have a weekly staff mindfulness class. And I also have trained clinicians, providers in delivering mindfulness-based treatments and interventions. So today I'm very honored to be here to talk to you about mindfulness and to experience the practice of mindfulness together with you all. So quick overview of today's seminar. We'll be spending about an hour together. We'll start with an introduction to mindfulness, what it is, nuts and bolts, how to do it. And then we'll do some guided mindfulness meditation together. We'll practice together because the most important thing in learning mindfulness is doing it, the hands-on practice. So in this seminar, we'll have a combination of experiential, hands-on guided mindfulness practice and discussion to help you gain some understanding about what mindfulness is and also to really get the experience of that, your personal taste of what mindfulness is. So again, we'll have a guided mindfulness meditation about 7 minutes after the introduction about what mindfulness is. Then we'll stop after the first meditation set and just have a little discussion. We'll reflect on how the experience was for you, and also you'll have an opportunity to ask any questions you have about that meditation practice or about the mindfulness technique. After a discussion, we'll get into a second mindfulness meditation practice. Slightly different than the first one, a little bit more focused. And after that, we'll stop and have a discussion again. Similar to the last one, some reflections on the experience, and then some questions you have about mindfulness. And after that discussion, we'll have a third and final mindfulness practice. Um, Again, this one is combining kind of the skills you've learned from the previous two sets and then going in a little bit deeper into the present moment and the breath and really kind of using those skills you already learned. And after that, we'll have another quick discussion and questions, answers, followed by some resources I can provide you to help you and support you in your own mindfulness practice. For those who would like to continue doing this practice after today's seminar. Any questions before we begin? Okay, let's start by just taking a few breaths together. Okay, before we get into any concepts and lectures about what mindfulness is, let's just take a few breaths because mindfulness is just about being present, being here. So let's take a few breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Now we'll talk about what is mindfulness and why we're here to talk about mindfulness. The definition of mindfulness is non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. Just being here, right now, this moment. And we'll talk more about what that is, what that means as we continue. So why mindfulness? Why are we here? Why do we have a mindfulness seminar today? Why did you come to this seminar? What do you hope to gain from this seminar? So we're here to learn about mindfulness and practice mindfulness. Because mindfulness meditation has been shown by decades of research to promote well-being throughout the lifespan. And specifically with regard to cancer, research has shown that mindfulness can be helpful for cancer survivors. With mindfulness practice, people can see significant improvements in anxiety, depression, stress, insomnia, fatigue, sexual difficulties, physiological arousal, and immune function. The list goes on and on. So the data and the evidence is out there. Now, as you know, in my introduction earlier, I am a mindfulness meditation practitioner, and I have personally experienced the benefits of mindfulness. But I am not a cancer survivor. So for the purpose of the seminar, I reached out to a friend of mine who is a cancer survivor and who is also an experienced meditator. See, I want to hear from him how mindfulness meditation connects with the realities of cancer. Let's call him John. So John has 30 years of intensive meditation experience. He's also a meditation teacher and teaches kind of nationally. So I asked him to share with me, how mindfulness meditation connects with the challenges and reality of cancer. And he was very kind and willing to share with me. He said when he first got diagnosed with cancer, he had a big question. Why me? Many of you can probably relate to that. And after he survived cancer, he had a big question again. Why me? So why did I survive? And not some of the other people that I've walked with during my treatment. Some people that I've known, some fellow patients or other family members or friends who maybe didn't survive cancer. Why me? Why did I survive? So for both questions and through it all, mindfulness meditation helped him keep a clear mind so that he can focus his energies on what needs to be done. And what does he mean by that? He said, thinking about why me? What did I do for this to happen to me? Or what did I do to survive? Thinking about why me takes up a lot of energy. Worry, depression, and anxiety can take up a lot of energy, physically and mentally, which is not helpful when his energy levels were already low, both during cancer treatment and afterwards with the side effects of medications. So the thinking and the stress takes a toll. It takes a lot of energy. And yet, this energy can be better used in many other ways. During cancer treatment, after cancer treatment, there are many things that he needed to attend to, people that he needed to spend time with, connect with, that require energy. So when he is caught up in his mind, thinking about why me, or worrying about things, it takes up energy unnecessarily. So for John, with mindfulness meditation, he can let go of his thoughts and keep a clear mind. A mind that's clear, as opposed to being kind of clogged up, cluttered with worries and anxieties, stress, regrets, or blame. So this clear mind helps him use his energy in more meaningful ways. He also shared that after cancer treatment, mindfulness meditation helped him use his experience to help other people. The mindfulness practice gave him more space in his mind and in his heart. So he was more able to use his experience and the suffering that he had to connect with and support other people who may be going through similar challenges. So how does mindfulness work? All those benefits we've heard about, how does it work? Why does it do that? So mindfulness works on a number of levels. On a physiological level, mindfulness practice activates our body's relaxation response. So the relaxation response means your heart rate drops, your breathing slows down, blood pressure drops, and you feel calmer and more relaxed. In other words, this is activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the rest and digest response of our body. On a neurological level, mindfulness reduces the reactivity of the amygdala. So some of you may have heard about the amygdala. What the amygdala does is, it's known as the brain's fear center. Reduced amygdala activity means we become less reactive and less stressed out about things. It makes sense, because if amygdala is the brain's fear center, if it's working on fear and fear response and reactions, if that amygdala reactivity is reduced, then all those other things associated with that is reduced. So less reactive, less stressed out about things. So that results in deactivation of the sympathetic nervous system, which is responsible for the fight or flight response. Many of you have probably heard of. On a psychological level, regular mindfulness practice develops a sense of equanimity and acceptance. It fosters a sense of being totally okay and being comfortable in our own skin. In other words, we are okay with ourselves as we are. We have an increased sense of acceptance of life and things as they are, as difficult as they may be. And with that also comes increased psychological flexibility to adjust and adapt to challenges in life. And furthermore, on a spiritual level, mindfulness practice helps develop a sense of peace, contentment, and compassion, and a sense of connection to something bigger than ourselves. So, very interesting that a practice of mindfulness can have all those effects. But the interesting thing is, we don't have to do anything special to make those things happen. We just have to practice the mindfulness technique. Just paying attention to what's happening right here, right now. Non judgmental awareness of the present moment. Now we'll take a closer look at what mindfulness is. But first, we'll do our first guided mindfulness meditation. Guided mindfulness meditation, about 7 minutes in length. Get into a comfortable position, less comfortable, shifting, swaying slightly, settling in to a posture balanced between relaxed and alert. Both feet firmly planted on the floor, possible. Head, neck, shoulders, back form a straight line, but not stiff. Eyes can be closed or half open. Hands on your lap or interlaced in front of your belly, whichever works for you. Start with a deep breath into your lower belly. Breathe out fully, all the way. Drop your shoulders away from your ears as you breathe out. Resume normal breathing. Please feel free to modify these instructions as you need in order to feel safe and to take care of yourself. These are merely suggestions to help us return to the present moment. There is no right or wrong way to do that. So please do what you need to take care of yourself. Now simply notice what's happening right here, right now. Tune in to your sensory inputs. Just noticing, what do you hear right now? What do you smell? What do you taste? See? Touch? And feel? Simply notice what your senses are picking up right here in the space that you're in right now, this very moment. And gently bring your attention to your breath. Find your breath in your body, where you feel your breath the most. And just follow your breath as you're breathing in, breathing out. Just watch your breath as it's rising and falling. Just watch the rising and falling of your breath, like you're watching the waves of an ocean rising and falling. There's no need to change or control your breathing in any way. Just like there's no need to change or control the waves of an ocean, nor can we. Our job is simply to observe the breath and watch the breath. Noticing how your body moves as you breathe. Breathing in, belly rising, expanding. Breathing out, belly falling, retracting. Take a moment to just connect with and follow that natural flow and movement. Breathing in, belly rising, expanding. Breathing out, belly falling, retracting. If thoughts are coming up and you're getting distracted, that's okay. It's very natural. Just gently let your thoughts go for now, whatever they may be. Just gently bring your attention back to the breath, breathing in, belly rising, expanding, breathing out, belly falling, retracting. Last 30 seconds. One last deep breath, deep into your lower belly. Breathe out fully, all the way. Drop your shoulders away from your ears as you breathe out. Relax your body, relax your arms and legs. Visualize your surroundings. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready. So now let's take a closer look at mindfulness. Now that you had a taste of mindfulness and did a little bit of practice, let's take a look at what mindfulness is. So again, the definition of mindfulness is the non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. Notice that there are three components to that: present moment, awareness, and non-judgment. So, put another way, it's paying attention, being aware of what is happening in the present moment, in the here and now, in a deliberate way, without judgment. So I know it may sound a little technical, but there's a simple technique similar to what we did that everyone can do to practice this. Okay, so the exercise that we just did is an example of mindfulness practice. And we will practice a few more techniques together later in the seminar. But first, let's take a closer look at each of those components: present moment, awareness, and non-judgment. So what is the present? The present is simply what is happening right now. It's what you are doing right now. It is seeing what is in front of you right now. Hearing the sounds around you right now. Smelling the scents around you right now. Feeling the chair you're sitting on right now. Then what is not the present? Well, when we are caught up in the future or the past, we are not present in the here and now. If you're like me, we spend a lot of time in the future, making plans, worrying about things coming up. And we also spend a lot of time in the past, rehashing conversations, replaying events, wishing things happened differently. And when our mind is caught up in the future or the past, we're no longer living in the present moment. So that's the present moment. What is awareness? Awareness means paying attention. For example, if we are aware of a bird chirping, that means we're paying attention to it. So if we weren't paying attention to it, to the bird chirping, we would not be aware of it. So are you aware of the sound of my voice right now? If you are aware, then you're paying attention. So mindfulness is simply attention training. Although we might look serene on the outside, meditating, peace, stillness, but what we're doing on the inside is actually a very active process, a very active endeavor. During mindfulness meditation, we're actively working with our attention, managing our attention, and redirecting our attention. We're redirecting our attention back to the present moment, over and over again. So attention is like a flashlight. So think of a flashlight, how you can shine it, point it in different directions. Mindfulness technique is to turn that flashlight of attention away from thoughts and turn it toward the present moment. In other words, we turn our attention away from fantasies, worries, projections, memories, and evaluations, and turn it toward what is actually happening right here, right now. That's awareness. What's non-judgment? Non-judgment means loosening our grip on what we like and don't like. So we typically do two things with our thoughts and emotions or any kind of experience that we have. We either hold on to it or we push it away. With mindfulness practice, we do something completely different than that. We don't chase after or try to hold on to feelings or thoughts that we like. And we don't push away or try to get rid of feelings or thoughts or experiences that we don't like. We simply observe our thoughts and feelings. We observe them, notice them, and we let them go and return our attention to this moment, to the breath that we're taking right now. It's easier said than done. That's why it takes practice. That's why it's called mindfulness practice. It takes training. That's why it's called mindfulness training. But with regular practice, our mindfulness muscle gets stronger and stronger. And we're more able to sit with uncomfortable feelings and thoughts and experiences. Just gently let them go and return to the breath. So that's non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. So now let's try and do another mindfulness practice together. Let's practice non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. This is a guided mindfulness meditation. We will be observing our breath, experiencing our breath, and following our breath in this meditation. It will be about 7 minutes in duration. Get into a comfortable position, more or less comfortable, shifting slightly, settling into a posture balanced between relaxed and alert. Eyes can be closed or half open. Start with a deep breath into your lower belly. Breathe out fully, all the way. Drop your shoulders away from your ears as you breathe out. Resume normal breathing. And as always, please feel free to modify these instructions as you need in order to feel safe and to take care of yourself. Just notice what's happening right here, right now. Noticing what's coming in through your sensory inputs. What do you hear? What do you smell? Taste? See? Touch? And feel? Simply tune in to what your senses are picking up in this moment. Gently bring your attention to your breath. Find your breath in your body, where you feel your breath the most. And follow your breath as you're breathing in, breathing out. Notice the quality of your breath. Is it fast or slow, deep or shallow, free-flowing or constricted, thick or silky? There's no need to change or control your breathing in any way. Simply notice how it feels. The breath is already teaching us about mindfulness. Breathing in, the breath takes it all in. Doesn't push anything away. Breathing out, breath lets everything go. It doesn't hold on to any part of the breath. So breathing in, taking it all in. Breathing out, letting everything go. Take a moment to just watch and follow that natural flow and rhythm. Thoughts are coming up. That's okay. It's very natural. Whatever's caught your attention, just notice it. Gently let it pass by, like clouds floating across the sky. And without judgment, the thought or yourself, just come back to the breath. Shift your attention back to the breath. Breathing in, taking everything in, breathing out, letting everything go. Last 30 seconds. Just try your best to stay with the breath. One last deep breath, deep into your lower belly. Breathe out fully all the way. Drop your shoulders away from your ears as you breathe out. Relax your body. Relax your arms and legs. Visualize your surroundings. Slowly open your eyes when you're ready. This concludes mindfulness meditation. So we've done a couple sets of mindfulness meditation, hands-on practice. You've had a taste of what mindfulness is. As you may have noticed in those guided meditations, we ask you to come back and pay attention to your breath. Like, pay attention to your breath, feel your breath, and come back to the breath. Well, why do we do that? Why do we focus on the breath? Again, mindfulness is paying attention to what's happening right now. And the breath is always happening right now. The breath is always with us, anywhere we go. When we connect with the breath, we connect with the present moment. So the breath is a great teacher. It's already teaching us everything we need to know about mindfulness meditation. With each inhalation, the breath takes it all in, without discrimination, without judgment. With each exhalation, the breath lets everything go. It doesn't hold on to anything. So taking it all in means non-judgmental awareness of the present moment. It's just noticing what's happening right now. What do you hear right now? What do you see? What do you smell? Taste, touch, feel, just taking it all in. And letting it all go means letting go of what gets in the way of non-judgmental awareness. When we're caught up in our thoughts, we can't see or hear clearly. When we let go of our thoughts, we can see and hear what's right in front of us. That is mindfulness practice. Breathing in, take it all in. Breathing out, let everything go. This is a guided mindfulness meditation utilizing the breath awareness technique. The length is about 7 minutes in duration. Getting to a comfortable position, more or less comfortable. Shifting slightly, settling in to a posture balanced between relaxed and alert. Head and neck and shoulders back, form a straight line, but not stiff. Eyes can be closed or half open. Deep breath in to your lower belly. Breathe out fully, all the way. Drop your shoulders away from your ears as you breathe out. Resume normal breathing. As always, please feel free to modify these instructions as you need in order to feel safe and to take care of yourself. Simply notice what's happening right here, right now. Tune in to this moment. Tune in to your senses. Settle into right here, right now. Find your breath and follow your breath. Wherever you feel your breath the most in your body, just follow your breath as you're breathing in, breathing out. And just watch your breath as it's rising and falling. Gradually settle into your own natural breathing rhythm. Once you settle into your own natural breathing rhythm, turn to the technique, breath awareness. Breathing in, noticing a coolness at the tip or back of your nose as the air goes in. Feeling that coolness as clearly as you can as the air goes in. Being fully aware of the breath that you're taking in right now. Just rest your attention right there on that coolness, connecting with it, feeling it as clearly as you can each time you breathe in. Making that your sole task for the remainder of this exercise. Breathing in, just feeling the coolness in your nose as vividly as you can. Soon as you notice that you're wrapped up in a thought, imagery, or emotion, sensation, anything at all, just recognize it. That's okay. It's very natural. Whatever's caught your attention, just notice it, gently let it go for now. Redirect your attention back to the breath. Breathing in, just feeling the coolness in your nose clearly as you can. If you drift off again, mind wanders off, that's okay. Future, past, comments on what's happening now or how you're doing on the exercise, any of those thoughts are okay. Just recognize them. Gently let them go for now. And redirect your attention back to the breath. Breathing in, just feeling the coolness in your nose. And if you get pulled away 50 times, simply come back 50 times. Just keep coming back to the coolness in your nose with every inhalation, and doing so with patience and compassion for yourself. Last 60 seconds. One last deep breath, deep into your lower belly. Breathe out fully all the way. Drop your shoulders away from your ears as you breathe out. Relax your body. Relax arms and legs. Visualize your surroundings. Gently open your eyes when you're ready. So now you have engaged in some hands-on mindfulness practice during the seminar. You had a taste of mindfulness and had some experiential learning, tried it out. And if you want to continue practicing mindfulness on your own, which we strongly recommend because mindfulness is a practice. So the more, it's like a muscle, like I said earlier, the more you use it, the stronger it gets. So we do recommend that you continue to practice on a regular basis in order to reap its benefits. So if you intend to continue practicing mindfulness on your own after the seminar, there are a few things to keep in mind that would maximize your success. So the mindfulness technique works. You know, the research shows us that. If you do the technique correctly and consistently, you will get the result. And as we have learned today, mindfulness is simply paying attention to the present moment. And it is a skill that we can learn and strengthen. And through repetition and training, we can get better. And this repetition and this training is an important part of the process. So in order to grow in mindfulness practice, it is important to develop a routine personal practice of mindfulness. What is a routine practice? A routine practice is something that you do on a regular and consistent basis, like brushing your teeth every day, right? Or eating every day. The most important thing in a routine mindfulness practice is consistency. So consistency of three things: consistent time, consistent place, and consistent duration. If you have those three things, then you're setting yourself up for success in your mindfulness practice. So consistent time. Find a time of day that is most conducive for you to doing some formal mindfulness practice. It could be after your morning coffee, before bed, or some other time that works for you. The important thing is to stick to that time each day. And consistent place. Find a place, a location in your home that is quiet and uncluttered. if you can, to the best of your ability. And make that your mindfulness meditation spot. And if possible, try and reserve that spot, reserve that area for formal mindfulness meditation only. So that's your consistent place. Finally, consistent duration. So as we begin mindfulness meditation training, the duration of meditation is less important than the consistency of the duration. Even 2 minutes each day is good, as long as it is consistent. So decide on a duration that feels realistic and supportive for you, and stick to that duration each day. Perhaps start with 5 minutes each day and see how it feels. Once you decide on a duration, just practice for that duration each day. So there you have it. The key to a successful and sustainable routine practice of mindfulness is consistent time, consistent place, and consistent duration. For those of you who found the guided meditation helpful and would like to continue utilizing some form of guided meditation in your routine mindfulness practice at home, there are some resources available that you can utilize. Actually, there are lots of different resources, mindfulness resources out there, and I will just recommend a couple of them that you may want to take advantage of. So if you are comfortable with smartphones and apps, I would recommend trying out the Mindfulness Coach app. So it is an app that's developed by the VA and DoD. It's called Mindfulness Coach. This app has many different types of guided mindfulness meditations, and it's very easy to use. And you can, every day you practice your mindfulness, just turn it on and pick one of those guided meditations, or pick one that you like, and just do that practice each day. And for those of you who found the meditations, the guided practice during today's seminar helpful, I have a guided meditation available on YouTube. It's tinyurl.com/vetmindfulness. So you're also welcome to use that meditation in your daily practice. It's a 10-minute guided mindfulness practice, similar to what we did in today's seminar. And of course, there are many mindfulness offerings in the VA. So I would encourage you to talk to your treatment team and your providers about a referral to a mindfulness group if you're interested. So you can continue to learn and practice mindfulness, and even practice with other veterans on a regular basis as part of a community. So I wish you the best as you move forward and continue in your mindfulness journey.